No, but we've been through lots of cycles like this.
Yeah, so how is the market at the moment?
Challenging, but not without, not that we were up to the challenge. That's what I know and believe. The hardest part is sometimes not when it's in that state, but actually when it's on the turn. And so people that I saw a few months ago, and I was saying the market really is very healthy, and prospectively you could and should achieve this sort of money for a property, and it should be relatively easy to sell. Some of those will face a harder task now because the sales aren't happening quite so easily, and when buyers are not under as much pressure because the property that they looked at last week is still for sale, okay, I can relax a bit, I can work at this gradually, I don't have to rush in, it's not going up by $10,000 next month, and everything becomes a little slower. Where we as agents have the challenge is to make sure that our clients understand those challenges. It's part of that, that is that although because they've been used to over an extended period, particularly in Adelaide, of a nice steady market with not too many troughs in it. In the last let's say 7 or so years. Before that, we certainly had some very, very deep troughs at times and some high peaks. But we've tended to have had a bit of a rush on property followed by a calming down rather than a really winding it back. In terms of prices, etc. So understanding the signals that point to that and how to cope with that market, how to pace the marketing of your property, because you can spend a lot of money on marketing, massive amount of money on marketing these days because it's not an inexpensive exercise. Then you need to be able to help your client understand at what pace they should invest in that process, because at the end of the day you want to have achieved a sale in an efficient and timely fashion, but if it doesn't, you also want to look after your client in terms of not having them too big a hole that they pour their money into.
But certainly a Borch Harcourts client can expect to go into the market with their eyes open.
We have a very specific set out of what the costs are, and every one of them is individually authorised. We don't ask people for a bulk of money and say let us spend it how we want. We're very specific about the packaging of information for people and making sure that they have very clear understanding of what's involved there, and also right through it they have an input and an opportunity to influence and instruct what the content of that marketing is and where it appears and the frequency of it, etc. You've got to do that. You've got to empower people as to why you're doing things as well, so that they understand that the investment they're making is one that's a solid and sound one.
Going through the calls then at 1,032,000 for the first time of calling. $1,032,000 for the second time of calling. Are you all done, all silent, all finished, selling to the gentleman on the right hand side for $1,032,000? All silent, checking with you one last and final time, ladies and gentlemen. Are you out of it? Bid, offered, commiserations to our runners-up, and sold. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for your attendance in today's Borch Harcourts auction. And remember, if you're thinking about selling in the area, please come and see us at Borch Harcourts. Obviously, we need more property. Thank you.